It's Thursday, January 18. In the headlines, the 44th National Prayer Breakfast was held today. In business news, executives are making moves on the local investment market. Regionally, in Barbados, a call for tertiary-level students to give back. And in sports, WADA participates in anti-doping forum in Jamaica. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, both participated in the 44th staging of the National Prayer Breakfast held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on Thursday. The prayer breakfast was originally implemented as a means of easing high tensions between political players and as an example of a mutual event that encouraged peace and unity. The event was held under the theme Choose Hope, Arise and Build. Keeping true to the theme, its patron, the Governor-General, His Excellency Sir Patrick Allen, said he's optimistic about this year, despite the ongoing challenges.
Despite daunting challenges, we possess the collective strength to transform these obstacles into stepping stones toward a brighter future. The Governor-General's program for excellence, with its theme, I believe, encapsulate the spirit of transformation. The GGPE is committed to igniting positive changes in Jamaica, fostering a nation that excels not in malevolence, but in benevolence and goodness.
He's urging Jamaicans to believe in the country.
We must believe in a brighter Jamaica. We must believe where hope outshines despair. We must use hope as a beacon that can guide our nation back from the precipice of even crime and violence and disorder.
Chairman of the NLPB committee, Reverend Sam McCook, noted that while the conditions that gave rise to the breakfast in the early days are fortunately not the same today, the need for the event continues. Proceeds from the prayer breakfast will go to the Educate to Elevate Community Outreach Program, a back-to-school initiative of the Hope Gospel Assembly. Ground was broken on the development of a resilience park in Portmore, St. Catherine. It will serve as a hub for recreation, sports, wellness, and entertainment. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony on Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the project will be undertaken by the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, at a cost of $4.4 billion.
Work on the public park is slated to begin on February 5.
The park will be for the benefit and use of all citizens of Portmore and visitors. It will be free to enter. We expect the park to be completed in September 2025.
The Prime Minister says plans are being put in place for more development in Portmore. One such development is the construction of a Type 5 hospital.
A Type 5 health center. A Type 5 health center is just one step below a hospital. It will basically offer all the services of a hospital except some of the critical clinical surgeries. But then, in a matter of time, that can be upgraded. And we have already budgeted for it, and it has been announced in addition to one that we're going to do in Hull Harbour and another in St. Jago Park.
Meanwhile, Mr. Holness used the opportunity to inform that government will not seek to have Portmore approved as a parish by Parliament before the upcoming local government election. Mr. Holness was responding to comments that the Jamaica Labour Party is seeking to make Portmore a parish and effect attendant boundary changes for political gain.
Our bill is ready to go to Parliament. We were ready for a little while now. We will not take it to Parliament. We will probably go to Parliament, we'll table it, but we will not pass it. Because there is no way that we could seek to establish a parish and it be clouded in political accusations.
Member of Parliament for St. Catherine South, Fitz Jackson, has said he is in support of a consultative process in making Portmore a parish. I'm Danita Rodney reporting for the news on PBCJ.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is speaking out against corruption and cronyism on construction sites. The government is pumping $87 million over the next few years to build a new Spanish Town hospital in stages at its present location. Mr. Holness issued a warning while speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony this week.
Well, let me tell all the gang members who are licking their lips, looking on at big fat contracts to come, none of that will happen here.
He says the plans are in place to secure the construction site.
We have already started to work with the JDF and the JCF. This will be a military camp if it has to be. There will be no extortion here. No illegal activity here, no controlling of site here. None of this government funding spending here will go to fund criminals.
The Prime Minister warned that unauthorized personnel will not be allowed to enter the site. Noting that it is common knowledge that gangsters often extort contractors, Mr. Holness cautioned that in addition to physical security, the anti-gang legislation is in full effect.
We have learned our lessons. We have seen where many government projects and other private projects, the criminals have sought to take it over. Don't put your eye on this one. If it means that I have to put JDF and JCF around here and any man coming in or coming out has to be checked, and the roster has to be kept outside by the JDF and the JCF about attendance for work, then it will be done.
When completed, the new hospital will boast a 6-story facility comprising patient wards, 7 operating theaters, a new accident and emergency center, a new pharmacy and laboratory with diagnostics and other supporting services. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide to the latest happenings in the world of business. Executives are buying and selling shares. Should you? One of the investment rules of thumb is to always consider how you should act when you see executives buying and selling shares. Let's look at what happened in the local market. Jamaica Broilers Group Limited has advised that a director sold 3.2 million Jamaica Broilers shares on January 10, 2024. Gas station firm Future Energy Source Company Limited, FESCO, has advised that a director purchased 18,000 FESCO shares on January 8, 2024. Grace Kennedy Limited has advised that on December 27, 2023, the company purchased 230,000 Grace Kennedy shares under the Grace Kennedy 2023 Share Repurchase Program. Auto dealer JetCon has advised that on January 9, 2024, a director sold 209,000 JetCon shares. In the latest executive appointment news, Caribbean Assurance Brokers Limited has advised of the appointment of Mrs. Renee Edwards as Chief Financial Officer effective January 8, 2024. Ice cream company Creamy has advised of the resignation of Christopher Clark as Chairman of the Board effective November 2, 2023. Creamy has further advised that Mr. Clark will be stepping aside to focus on executive management as CEO of the company. Director Matthew Clark has been appointed to the new Executive Chairman post effective November 3, 2023. T-Tech has advised of the resignation of Mrs. Gillian Murray, Company Secretary, effective January 7, 2024, and the appointment of Mrs. Marsha Buckner as the company secretary effective January 8, 2024. X-ray and radiology firm Image Plus Consultants Limited for the 9 months ended November 30, 2023 reported an 8% increase in revenue, totaling $869 million compared to the $802 million in the corresponding period last year. Income tax expense for the 9 months ended November 30, 2023 amounted to nil. As such, net profit for the 9 months amounted to $164 million, an 11% increase from the $148 million reported in 2022. Entertainment and events production firm Main Event Entertainment Group Limited for the 12 months ended October 31, 2023 reported a 24% increase in revenues totaling $1.92 billion compared to $1.55 billion in the corresponding period last year. Main Event highlighted in their report, underpinning these results was the company's ability to respond to shifts in market conditions within the entertainment sector through the introduction of new products and engaging new clients. The pursuit of new opportunities, along with the company's focus on operational efficiency, yielded success in 2023. Now we turn to trading on the stock markets. During trading on January 17, 2024, the top advancing stocks covered the distribution and insurance sector on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. AMG Packaging and Paper Company shares advanced by 27.82% to go up in price by 69 cents to close at $3.17 with 27,600 shares traded. Iron Rock Insurance Company Limited shares advanced by 21.26% to increase by 44 cents to close at $2.51 with 1 share traded. Lasco Distributors Limited shares advanced by 6.22% to grow by 24 cents to close at $4.10 with 27,500 shares traded. On the declining stocks that traders experienced on January 17, 2024, the top 3 losers covered the food, transportation, and construction sectors. Consolidated Bakeries Jamaica Limited, which trades as Purity, declined by 12.39% to fall by 27 cents to close at $1.91 with 4,516 shares traded. Knutsford Express Services Limited declined by 6.87% to fall by 85 cents to close at $11.53 with 1,825 shares traded. Berger Paints Limited declined by 5.16% to drop in value by 37 cents to close at $6.22 with 116 shares traded. Over to the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Trading activity on the first-tier market registered a volume of 141,000 shares crossing the floor of the exchange, valued at 1.9 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars. Grace Kennedy Limited was the volume leader with 88,000 shares changing hands for a value of 368,000 TT dollars, followed by First Citizens Group Financial Holdings Limited with a volume of 18,000 shares being traded for TT $901,000. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies on the regional stock markets, we turn to the Forex market. On January 17, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $19.2 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $20.3 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $156.18 and bought the US dollar for $154.07. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $2.11, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $4.71 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $119.18 and bought for $114.47. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $7.92, selling it for $280 and buying it for $192.88. For our credit report tip of the day, we encourage you to get a free copy of your credit report and read it. And let's review how to read your credit report like a pro. First, make sure you review your personal information. Is your name spelled correctly? Very simple things like that. Then, examine the account information. Is the account correct? Is the amount correct? Then, check for late payments. Late payments do have an effect on your credit score. Please check next for fraudulent accounts. You do not want to be paying for someone else's debt. And number 5, verify credit inquiries. If you have put in a dispute, make sure that is reported on your credit report. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, in Belize, Prime Minister John Briceño says that he hopes to strengthen diplomatic ties with Guatemala under an Arevalo administration. One of the key topics that the Prime Minister hopes to further discuss is the prolonged Sarstoon Protocol, emphasizing the urgency of collaborative efforts to prevent narco influence. As it relates to the International Court of Justice and the case between Belize and Guatemala, he says Arevalo has committed to respect the ruling.
Of course, when he was in Belize in December, we had a very long meeting of probably about 2 hours, expressing ideas, and he was the one that immediately said, listen, I want to build on what has been left by President Jamatei, he was the one that brought up the issue of the ICJ and said, listen, we will respect whatever ruling the ICJ has, but between now and then, let's strengthen the relationship, be it in commerce and trying to proceed with the trade agreement that we have, continue that negotiation to include more products, look at sports, education. There's so much going on. Look at the issue of security, which is very important for both countries, especially with the narcos that are becoming more and more open, and especially in Guatemala. So there's a lot for us to work together with, and so we look forward to be able to work very closely with his government.
You mentioned security. Do you expect stronger ties, especially when it comes to the Sarstoon? We know that area there had some narco farming there. Stronger ties in terms of security along the Sarstoon.
Certainly, and he has expressed that, and even the military now has been expressing that we need to be able to find ways how we can work closely or closer, because we don't want these people, these narcos, to be able to set roots in the area, both in Belize and Guatemala, because then it will be extremely difficult to get them on. So it's important for us to work together to keep them out of this area.
What about the Sarstoon Protocol? I know the Sarstoon Protocol has been debated over years after the administration. Do you expect that there will be any progress under the Arevalo administration?
Well, that continues to be a frustration from our part on how we can get this Sarstoon Protocol going. We hope that once President-elect Arevalo is settled, that we can bring that up again, and hopefully we can have some more cooperation in trying to get that the Sarstoon Protocol agreed to and signed.
But you're truly estimating that this might happen under his administration? I ask because there have been so many delays for previous administrations that they can.
Well, we hope so, and we are constantly optimistic on that matter. But at the same time, remember the ICJ process continues, and hopefully sometime this year they're going to listen to the oral arguments from both parties. So we need to continue to push for the Sarstoon protocols, but at the same time continue to monitor very closely what is happening at the ICJ.
There is a concern from the Malaysian government or any advisors to the legal team to the ICJ that when that ruling is handed down for the ICJ, maybe against Guatemala, that they would not respect the ruling. We see what's happening with Venezuela and Guyana.
Well, that's always a concern, but what we have been doing, we've been loving our friends. The United States, we have been working very closely with them, and they have said that they are prepared to help us when that time comes to ensure that both countries live up to the ruling of the ICJ. We've spoken to the British, we've spoken to Mexico, to Cuba, Brazil, Canada. All the big countries have said that they are prepared to work with both countries to ensure that the ruling of the ICJ be implemented as quickly as possible.
In Barbados, a call for those territory-level students receiving free tuition to get on board with the government's Give Back initiative. CBC's Wendy Burke tells us that a scholarship presentation on Wednesday, the Minister of Education, Kay McConney, revealed that the numbers who have done their hours are very disappointing.
4 deserving young women have received scholarships from the Rotary Club of Barbados West, valued at $5,000 per year for the duration of their studies. The 4, Kinara Innis, Divine Innis, Tiana Bell, and Chelsea Watson, are all enrolled at the Cave campus of the University of the West Indies.
I am genuinely grateful for the opportunity you have provided. I also want to extend my gratitude to the generous donors that made these scholarships possible.
This scholarship has helped me in being one step closer to achieving my academic goals. I'm greatly appreciative of your support and all the good that you guys do.
I feel very privileged to receive such tremendous support in my post-secondary endeavors. To the Rotary Club, thank you for your unwavering commitment to education and for recognizing the potential within each of us.
I am honored to be one of the recipients of this prestigious award. I have always admired the Rotary Club of Barbados and the civic work that you do, and I hope to give back and to become a member this year.
Minister of Education Kay McConney thanked Rotary for its partnership as the ministry could not do it alone. She told the young women they demonstrated a wholesome outlook as they rose above their challenges. The minister also applauded them for choosing education as their path.
This scholarship that is provided by the Rotary Club West is helping us to do many things. It is not just about what it is doing for the student, which is perhaps the most important thing in helping you to access education. When we look at it from a broader perspective, it's helping us to lower the barriers to access. Because for many people, money is a real and significant barrier. And we thank the Rotary Club West for its commitment to lowering barriers to education.
Ms. McConney reminded them of those who supported them on the journey and their responsibility to give back. She says many now receiving free tertiary education are failing in that duty.
As I was looking at the statistics just before coming into this meeting, into this celebration this afternoon, I am noticing that in the academic year 2022-23, 90% of those students who were supposed to give back hours from the University of the West Indies did not. I am seeing that 90% of those students who were to give back hours from BCC did not. And we have to be able to correct this. Not that it is a failing or a fault of anyone, but I think we have the opportunity to elevate volunteerism and help us to help each other.
Rotary West's president, Gail Reeves, says for 21 years, the program has been committed to the development of education.
We have provided countless opportunities for young minds to flourish and thrive. Today, we witness the impact of our club's generosity as we acknowledge these exceptional individuals who have been chosen as recipients of the Rotary West Tertiary Scholarship Awards. I'd also like to acknowledge our scholarship committee members for their continued commitment to education and for providing opportunities that shape the future leaders of our community.
A golf charity this year helped to provide funds for the educational grants. Wendy Burke, CBC News.
The World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, has agreed to change the name of its regional office to include the Caribbean and pledges additional resources to facilitate more anti-doping activities. Melvin Pennant tells us the details.
We welcome the name change of WADA's regional office. At my recommendation, we ask that the name of the regional office be changed from Latin America regional office to the Latin American and Caribbean office. And of course, the president accepted the recommendation, and we're quite happy for this.
The name change followed discussions by participants of the forum with a view to actively share their views and experiences. In his address, President of the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, Witold Banka, said anti-doping in the Caribbean has come a long way in recent years in the face of various challenges. The forum is part of a series of events that WADA has been holding to gather and exchange views with governments around the world. This week's forum, held in Jamaica at the Jamaica Conference Center, featured representatives from 8 countries, which included 9 sports ministers, 2 secretaries of state, and the Caribbean Regional Anti-Doping Organization. Melvin Pennant, PBCJ News.
Shamar Joseph enjoyed a memorable opening day in Test cricket as West Indies just about kept themselves in touch with Australia at Adelaide Oval after Josh Hazlewood and Pat Cummins had all but dismantled their first innings. After hitting 36 in a final wicket stand of 55 to lift the visitors from 133 for 9, Shamar Joseph became the 23rd player to strike with his first ball in Test cricket when he had a new opener, Stephen Smith, caught in the slips. It was Joseph's dream to debut in Test cricket, and little did he know that his extraordinary performance would become the talking point of the opening day at the historic Adelaide Oval. He scored 36, the highest by a West Indies number 11 on debut. Here's what he had to say at the post-match press conference.
I didn't miss my run-up. It was just nervousness. Bowling is one of the best batsmen in the Australia team that I consider. So it wasn't my run-up, but just nervous. So I just went and built my mind, to get the first ball right, just on top of off some, and that went good for me there. And getting Steve Smith wicket is just amazing for me.
And have you dreamt of what that first wicket would be? Was that just a dream ball? Everything just played out the way you thought it would play out?
Oh well, I had a few conversations with the boys in the dressing room. I told them that I would get a wicket on my first ball, but I didn't know it was Steve Smith. I think that went well for me. So I went with a positive mindset. You're coming up against the best team in Test cricket. So I just come with a positive mindset and do what I do best.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. Thanks for watching.